we're going to talk about something that's not quite understood, or not very well understood, I don't think. And that is the idea of a restrictive clause and a non-restrictive clause. So I call a non-restrictive clause an interrupter, because what that does is it interrupts a sentence with a little bit more detail, okay? And it's set on each side by commas, comma, clause, comma, right? And so what you would do is you could lift that out and the sentence would retain its meaning. You would miss, like details that are kind of important for, whatever reason, if you're reading a story or it offers a little bit more detail, but you would still be able to make meaning of the sentence, right? It doesn't rely on that at all. Now, on a restrictive clause, it is necessary to make meaning in the sentence. So one of the examples that you have from one of the links is William Faulkner's novel, A Light in August, is my favorite book. Well, you can't put commas around that because you can't lift A Light in August out of the sentence, right? You will just, if you did, you would have William Faulkner's novel is my favorite book. What? You see how that just completely obscures the meaning? There is no meaning now, and now we're puzzling. What are you saying? So you don't put commas there because it's necessary to meaning. But you're showing your reader, when you put commas on either side, that this is a non-restrictive clause, which means you can take it right out. So I hope that makes sense on what a non-restrictive clause is, as I term it an interrupter, because that seems to just be clearer to me than saying a non-restrictive clause. But the other example that it gives you, right, to do yoga, I need a shirt that is loose and comfortable. Okay, you don't need to put commas around that, number one. That's not correct. But you see that you need to say that you need a shirt because it needs to be loose and comfortable. If you take I need a shirt out to do yoga that is loose and comfortable, again, we're left wondering, what are you talking about? So the non-restrictive elements are those that can be lifted right out. And the ones that I have given you to look at is, let's see here. There's several in here, right, that we looked at. Yeah. So just play around with it. I don't want to read what you're already reading, verbatim to you, because that's boring. What's the point of that? But I hope that makes more sense when it comes to restrictive clauses and non-restrictive clauses, and why we have commas around one type, non-restrictive, and not the other, restrictive, because we need that restrictive to retain meaning, restrictive retain, and we don't need the non-restrictive to retain meaning, and that's why we put commas around it. So I hope that makes sense. And now we're going to talk about another thing.